Welcome everybody to today's workshop. My name is Carl Stilmader and I'm a research counselor here at Company Wellness Solutions. And today we're going to be looking at the mindfulness and meditations practices within your busy professional lives. So the first thing I want to look at is in a little bit of an introduction. So we know that our environments are fast-paced, our schedules become very busy, and many busy professionals also have to deal with a lot of things becoming overwhelming. Things like deadlines, things like never-ending to-do lists, because every time we do a project or something, or even types of maybe tasks in that, it ends up becoming a bit overwhelming and takes a bit of our time and also mental and emotional state. So within this, mindfulness as well as meditations are valuable tools that we can use to help reduce and manage our stress, cultivate focus, and as well as also looking at enhancing our overall well-being. Now, within this introduction, I would like to explore that mindfulness and meditation and what it is, as well as some of the benefits you can have with it and some practices that we can do within ourselves and in our daily routines. So the first thing I want to look at is obviously what is mindfulness. So now when we come to mindfulness, it's about being present, about looking and being fully in the moment that you're in. So now let's look at it in this way. Now, how do we look at and be mindful about right now situation? So looking at and thinking only about what I'm talking about and what it is to be mindful in your eyes. That's being present, but now we cannot have judgment with that, because as soon as we have judgment, it kind of has a negative effect, because now you're going to start judging and start criticizing or even having criticisms about certain things. Now that can also be negative in a certain way, because we then can sometimes get consumed by that and only think about things negatively. Now this is about acknowledging obviously your thoughts, your feelings, and as well as your sensations that you're experiencing in this present moment. So is it negative? Is it positive? Am I happy, sad, upset, maybe even a little bit disgusted or fearful about certain things? And the sensations, how does my body react to this? Am I feeling tired? Am I feeling excited? Am I feeling overwhelmed? Am I feeling a bit even like my face feels a bit down? So am I feeling even upset? These are some of the things that we need to look at when it comes to mindfulness. So some of the keywords I would like you just to keep in mind is 1, awareness. So awareness of your feelings as well as your physical body and your sensations and your thoughts, and then as well as then acceptance. So accepting who you are for what you are, being fully accepting of your flaws as well as your successes.
It's like no?
Now, when it comes to meditation, on the other hand, this is looking at using things like mental exercises that allows us to focus and be in that present moment, providing a bit of clarity and or even in instances, calm. Now, when it comes to this, it can have different depths, it can have different durations as well as different types of forms when it comes to meditation. So not all of it is about having mantras and that. Sometimes just taking a moment, things like mindful walks, or even just time in nature can actually be an example of also meditation, because it's taking time to not think about anything or just being present in instances where you are. Now, some of the things that kind of common types that you need to consider is 1, focused attention. So this is about also concentrating on a single thing, may it be a pen, may it be a leaf or a tree, something that allows you to fully focus on that item. Next, a guided meditation. So as Company Wellness Solutions, we have plenty of guided imageries that you can use, and those are some of the things that can allow you to feel calm, process certain feelings, or send you into a situation or a type of environment that makes you feel calm and relaxed. And the third one is a body scan. Now when it comes to body scan, this is about using your body as a way to focus on the present and also recognize where certain tensions, stresses, or even relaxation moments that you're feeling right now. So now when we're looking at your mindfulness and meditations, we need to look at some of the benefits that come with it. So things like reduce stress. So looking at it, everything that we were mentioning earlier, so the mindfulness and being present, as well as then your meditation and providing that clarity and calm, allows us to reduce our levels of stress that we feel every day. It can also help enhance focus, because when we're stressed, we kind of get all over the place thinking about 2, 3, or even 17 things, and not really one thing at a time. The next one is emotional well-being. So this helps us manage that anxiety and promotes us to be more on a positive outlook within our life work, or even our relationships. As well as it also can benefit our relationships with other colleagues, management, and family and friends. Because now when we're being more present, being more there for everyone, we can kind of see that glance and those eyes and that smile on people's faces because they're more there with us. And also that we're listening to them, we're actually getting more of the story and more about connection with these people that we care so much about. And as well as can also build resilience because it helps us practice and be practitioners of building that level of how much of the stresses can I take before I need to set a boundary. What are the type of stresses I can handle, I need to handle to move forward. So now when it comes to practical techniques, just a little quick one of why do we need to focus and have practical techniques? Because within our busy schedules, we have to, in essence, have to cope with the dailies. We have to deal with projects and certain tasks that we're dealing with. Now, when it comes to that, obviously they can impact us and affect us in our day-to-day lives. May it be within home, within our relationship, maybe even with the kids. Now, these are some of the things that can impact on us and affect us deeply. So some of the things that you can experience is your stress levels might increase. You might also have a decrease in focus. Productivity, your emotional resilience can also get affected. Your maybe decision making, so maybe not thinking very clearly, or we're thinking of too many things, which becomes overwhelming. As well as our communication and collaboration might get affected because we're not really thinking, we're not also listening, so then we kind of take an answer and we kind of roll with it. And sometimes that's always a good thing because maybe we're not thinking about the entire project, but rather certain pieces of it that are stressing us, which then can impact our work-life balance, and in essence also change and our adaptability can get impacted because we do not look at the change as a problem, but rather that it becomes to a leading problem of other problems, because those challenges and consequences can lead to a cascading effect which then impacts us deeply. So some of the techniques that we're going to be looking into is breathing techniques, mindful observations, body scanning, as well as a quick visualization technique. Now, when we're looking at breathing techniques, the one I want to use is find a place where you can sit calmly, somewhere where you can put your feet firmly on the ground, solely because we want to ground yourself. Then close or lower your gaze ever so slightly and take deep breaths. So you're going to take deep breaths within the count of 4. So that means you're going to breathe in for 4 seconds, you're going to hold that for 4 seconds, and then you're going to breathe out for 4 seconds. Slowly, and allowing yourself to fully be present on your breath alone. And then you repeat this on 3 cycles, solely because when we do it the first time, we kind of stop feeling that stress. Second time, we're kind of letting go and focusing on our breath. And the third time allows us to make at least either all or most of our focus towards the breath, because we want to make sure that we actually get it done. Now, when it comes to mindful observations, this is kind of more in a literal aspect, because you're going to now use an item, like I was mentioning earlier in our slides, maybe a tree, maybe a branch, maybe a leaf, maybe even your pen that you have. You're going to look at it for about a minute or two and observe every point of it as closely as possible. So let's use a pen, from the actual point of the pen where you actually write, all the way to the end of it, which is even the back of it, whereby sometimes we pull it out to try and replace our ink. So you're going to look at every aspect of it, its color, its shape, its textures, and with that we're going to then allow ourselves to engage on all our senses. So I know with obviously a pen you're not going to be tasting it, but obviously looking at it, obviously when you flick it, what kind of sound does it make? Does it have a smell? Most times the pen doesn't have a really nice smell, but it's worth a shot. As well as also looking at then obviously its smell, and then taste, maybe not the ink part, but if you want to, you can also even taste it. And just to say, what does it feel like? What does it look like? What does it taste like? Because this allows us to fully take a moment of separating our mental thoughts and conceptions about anything towards this item, which then allows us to refocus and really be more present in our everyday. So the next one I want to do is a body scan. So I'm going to give you the guidance for it and you can try it on your own. So what we're going to do is I would like for you to then, in this moment, you're going to sit down or lie down in a comfortable position, as comfortable as you possibly can be. You're going to then either close your eyes or lower your gaze and start taking a few deep breaths. So just like we were doing before with the breathing techniques, you're going to actually apply them right here. So taking for 4 seconds, a deep breath in, holding for 4 seconds and breathing out slowly for another 4 seconds. Repeating it 3 times to then start focusing on your body. So this may be your fingers, your toes, it can be your legs, your arms, your back, your chest, any part of your body, and you start working. Most times we like starting from our toes because we would like to slowly build our way up towards our head, looking at every aspect, looking at its tension, its pains, looking at it, actually the points where it's also relaxed. And these are allowing us to then take notice of our body, being more present, and in turn maybe even also getting an idea of where I need to start looking on which parts I need to start sorting out because of the pain. So the next thing I want to do is a quick visualization. So this is your guided imageries that we have had. So you can go onto our site and also our app, and you can find quite a few of them on guided imageries. Now these are the ones that you're going to close your eyes carefully. Think about a place, maybe the beach, the forest, a garden, or even a winter cabin. Starting to feel, starting to think, starting to relate yourself towards that space. Maybe it sounds, smells, textures, and relating that and thinking of it as a journey, allowing us to calm ourselves and as well as be more present, can actually give us a sense of calm and relaxation to actually continue and do more within our day. This can be helping in grounding you. So sometimes when we're overwhelmed and stressed, it kind of feels above and beyond where we're dealing with. And this can help center us and be more present and more calm to deal with whatever situation may it be, within work and our busy schedules, or even at home or with our family. So now what I want to look at is your practical techniques, but I want to kind of relate it to the high stress environment. Now the first thing I want to look at is integrating or using a schedule within our daily lives. It's really important that we use them because it can actually help us quite significantly plan out our day, as well as recognize and see how our day is. So we can also prevent ourselves from overbooking or doing too many things in one day. The next one is also starting small. Now, when it comes to starting small, it's looking at it from different perspectives. One, building those boundaries and lines that we want to create and create that work-life balance. And secondly, to also help us also maybe looking at a task that might seem very complicated, but maybe just has additional steps. So as allowing ourselves to actually break it down and start small can kind of give that overwhelming effect a little bit of a breakdown, which then kind of evades it and as well as also even minimizes it, because we're allowing ourselves a moment to actually be more present and allowing ourselves to actually take the big task into small chunks which are more achievable within a time frame. The next one is mindful moments. Taking a moment to think about your day, maybe it be on your break, or even taking a moment just to relax and take a few seconds or moments to be outside and away from your work. This can actually significantly increase your mental capacity as well as your focus, because a certain amount of break can actually help you be more present and more visually observant of certain things happening in your environment. The next one is meditation apps. So like our guided images that I said we have on our app are very useful in doing some things like this. Taking a moment and being more focused on our schedule and our day-to-day. The next one is setting reminders. We know within our busy schedule and in our intense, busy lifestyles and professions, it can take a very hard moment to think about things and continuously remember everything. So setting reminders can actually help us within our personal as well as professional life in creating that balance and not letting anything slip through the cracks. And then the last one is, it's not a problem to actually have a combination of a few of these techniques. Whichever one works for you, create your own, make it work for you, and that is what's going to help you make your best mindful as well as meditation schedule for yourself. So the last thing I would like to look at is encouraging you guys to take one or two of these techniques that you feel most appealing and to try them in your daily routine. Take a moment of taking that break, taking a moment to maybe meditate or go through a guided imagery or a mindful walk through nature. Taking this time can actually transform our approach to work and our personal life, and that can enrich and as well as encourage us to do more things and be more patient and peaceful within our daily lives. As well as integrating these certain practices in our busy schedule kind of cultivates that healthier lifestyle that we a lot of times earn for, as well as remember to start small. Start with 1, build up to 2, then 3, then 4. Can actually allow us to slowly change our environment to becoming more suitable and more appealing for us. As well as starting a journey takes time. It is not a quick fix. So slowly doing these things, you will notice the change, but only when we've been also consistent in doing them. That's the most important part, is consistency governs how our habits and routines will become. And as well as embrace the present moment. It is there to help balance us and as well as allow us to be focused on our daily things, may it be personal or professional. And that's what needs. And thank you for staying through today's workshop. Hope to see you in the next one.